Once you have requested a HERON data set, the Data Request Oversight Committee will review your request. Once it's approved, we'll go ahead and pull the data for you. We'll send you an email telling you a REDCap project that the data has been uploaded in. So I just made some example data in this project called HERON Data Training. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and you can access REDCap by going to redcap.kumc.edu and logging in with your KUMC username and password. So I clicked on HERON Data Training, and if I click on Record Status Dashboard, I can see all of the patients that have been uploaded into this. In this example, I've only uploaded 2 patients, and all of this data is completely made up, so don't take anything from it. But for your example, if you had 2,000 patients, you would see all 2,000 patients. You can click on this drop down to see there might be multiple pages of patients, so you can click to the various pages. So I'm just going to go ahead, and the first patient is patient number 987, and again, patient num is a de-identified number. So I can just click in to get an overview of the data. So if I click on patient, I can see vital status. N means that they are alive. It means so N means that they're not alive, that they are alive. I see their birth date here, which is de-identified. Death date, thankfully this person is alive. Age of 26, female, English speaking, Asian, single, and Christian religion. I can go ahead and then click on our next form, procedures. And so this query was looking at patients who had tonsillectomies. And so you're going to see that some of these fields will be blank. So this patient did not necessarily have all of the terms that were queried for in my query. But if I scroll down, I keep scrolling, I see that this person did have tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy, age 12 or over. So the count indicates how many times they had this procedure done. So this person had it performed once. It has the first date and the last date. So you can see that the dates are the same. And then it has just a code. Last name is just the tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. And then the code that was used is the CPT code. So you can see just a little bit about the procedures, and again, the ones that she has not had are just not listed here, but perhaps other patients in the cohort had them. Under visit details, again, this is what was requested in this query, so they were looking at how old the person was at the visit, and then also they were looking at height. And so with count here, they have had height recorded 15 times in their medical record. We have the first date as February 8th, 2008, and then the last date as May 15th, 2016. It's height in centimeters, it's got where it's coming from, and then the last numerical value is 165. So the last time this person was 165 centimeters. Scroll down, weight was recorded the same number of times. It was also recorded 15 times. I can see that here. There's a first date, again, February 8th, 2008, and then a last date, February 15th, 2016, and the last weight was 2,000 ounces. So those were all of the data collection instruments for this particular patient. If you would have requested more terms, you may have seen more forms. I'm going to click again on Record Status Dashboard, and we can go ahead and we can look at the second patient. So we see here that it's a 10-year-old male who's white, who's English speaking, no religion is listed, birth date of November 4th, 1997, and I'm going to go ahead and click on procedures. One thing to note, if you did request identified data, then you would also see an MRN, and these dates would not be date shifted, so these would be actual dates. In procedures, we'll scroll down, and this person had a tonsillectomy with adenoidectomy once. You can see that it was recorded UHC procedure. The ICD-9 code was 28.3, and the date was 12/8/2016. That is all that this patient has listed in here. So I'm going to go scroll up to the top and click on Visit Details. Again, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to be able to see height. This person had height recorded 10 times. And then the last height was 80 centimeters. Again, weight was also recorded 10 times, and you can see the first date that it was recorded and the last date that it was recorded. And then the last time this patient weighed 2,240 ounces. Again, all of this data is not accurate or real. So I'm going to go ahead and show you in the file repository. This is where we have the raw data for you. So if you wanted to go ahead and look at all 15 of those heights and 15 of those weights for that one patient, you can go ahead and download this by clicking on this button that says download. I've also included here instructions to upload the data into SQLite and the database schema. In our next video, I'm going to go over how to upload the data into SQLite. That can be a very useful tool to clean up your data before you put it into an analysis tool like SPSS or SAS. One other thing to show you is that REDCap is great. There is this button called Data Exports, Reports, and Stats. So you can go ahead and you can look at stats and charts, and you can just select your instrument. So we'll select the patient instrument, and so you can see that vital status, we have 2 patients who are alive. Age, it gives us minimum age of 10, maximum age of 26, mean of 18, standard deviation of 11.31. You can see them plotted on this chart. When you have more patients in your cohort, you're going to see more dots, obviously. We have 1 female and 1 male. Both are English speaking. One person is Asian and 1 person is Caucasian. Both are single. And then we have 1 person listed as Christian and the other person listed with no religion. So that just gives you an overview. We can do the same thing with visit details. But what I'd like to warn you about, if we scroll down, okay, we see height. So it says the lowest value is 10 and 15, and the highest value is 10 and 15. So this is actually the count, sorry. This is the count of how many times height was recorded. If I keep scrolling down, it's going to have the numerical value. Okay, here we go. So the minimum is 80, the maximum is 165. But something to note, this is only the last value that this is looking at. It's not looking at all of the values in your data set. In order to look at all of the values in your data set, you will have to download the raw data. So that's just something to be aware of. These stats and plots are great, but they do have their limitations, especially when looking at numerical data such as height or weight or something that has been recorded many times. So I'm just going to go, that's really all for this video. I just wanted to give you a basic overview of how to find your data in REDCap and what some of the tools are. You can also create reports if you only wanted to look at certain things. You can always create a report, and you can look at some of the REDCap training about how to create reports, but that's another really useful tool. In our next video, like I say, I'll go over how to import data into SQLite. Thanks so much for watching.